sale.
Yeah, that's what I understand. I don't know that.
It was.
Yeah.
It really was. It was more than you think. And I went there with $6,000 in my pocket. They
Yeah.
even asked me how much money I had.
Yeah.
I spent every bit of it and loaded up my credit cards. Every bit of
It was
it.
such a good buy, yeah.
Well, yeah, I told you, it was like a fire sale, man. Everything.
I don't know if this is something she brought. I don't know where that's.
It's possible. I don't remember that one.
Okay, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Let me see what else she's got here. Of course, some of these prints, signed and numbered prints that we got locally. She had some stuff here.
Pat Griggs was thinking that was a
That's a highway.
highwayman.
That's
yeah.
a highwayman painting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I used to have a book. Normally they're signed. Yeah, right there. 1992. It's a later highwayman painting.
Okay.
Okay, because most of the highwayman paintings were done more like in the 60s, 70s. So we're in there, but it's still a highwayman painting. It's
Yeah.
just a later one, and I don't know that if he's listed. I mean, it looks like Neil or something. I can't get close enough to see, but you can look up that just put it in the what's it called in the computer,
Yeah.
and you'll be able to find. Because those paintings, where they really excelled was in doing the clouds.
That's what I noticed. The clouds.
The clouds, because Florida doesn't have mountains, but it has interesting cloud
Yeah.
formations. And
Some parts of the clouds are dark, and it's raining right underneath it.
yeah, it's amazing. It really is. Well, she collected. Well, she was like me. She collected pretty much anything that was interesting. And all sorts of things. Yeah, and look at this. This flagman. That used to be the hat on the hat or a cap.
Her grandfather.
Yeah.
Oh, I was wondering what that
Yes,
piece
that's
was.
what it
worked,
is.
Worked for the Chesapeake system, Chesapeake
Yeah.
in Ohio.
Okay, well that was on the cap.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that identified him.
Yeah.
And that's a collector's item, and you should keep it. It's a family piece. If that belonged
Really?
to your
Okay.
great grandfather.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, really. That's what that
Yeah,
is.
that's a picture of her grandfather. And, well, let's see. Yeah. Yeah, that's Grandma and Grandpa Collier. That was her father's mother and dad.
Oh, okay.
This came from her grandmother, so it's a lot of stuff that came from the Colliers.
And this here, this is a wonderful piece. This is called quarter sawn or tiger oak.
Okay.
And it's a very wasteful cut because you cut at an angle,
Yeah.
but you cut it to expose the beautiful, all this wood grain like
Oh,
that.
okay.
Because if you cut oak at a planer, it doesn't appear. But like this, it does. But it's wasteful.
Yeah.
You really you use up a lot of wood to get it to expose like that. And this is called a bow front, like this.
Mm-hmm.
So and it's got
Ryan's taking
feet.
this
Yeah.
with him back to Oklahoma.
Good. Do you want to? Because
I'm afraid I might be doing it wrong, but my plan was to. I've got two moving companies that are working on quotes. First off, I was going to tow a U-Haul trailer. Already got the dimensions. This thing fits laying down on its back. So my plan was to put a bunch of different pads and blankets on the bottom. Possibly put this into a crate and then put it in the trailer. And then get pillow. I talked to an antique restorer company. They said after I remove the drawers or the
you
shelves.
take the shelves.
Yeah, all the shelves are going to
He
come
said
out.
fill it with pillows.
Yes, that's correct.
And if I want added protection, because this has got a stripping on the inside to keep the glass from falling out, he said you can take hot glue and glue it in place if you want. So I was thinking about that.
Here's the thing. You can all of this is replaceable. The problem is it's very expensive.
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah, so I think it's best for you if it were mine. Go ahead, take the shells out, fill it with pillows, then have it crated because that protects it, and then put pillows over it even, while it's in the box.
Yeah.
Do everything you can to protect this. Everything you can, because this this is what always breaks.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and
I also
if-
thought about taking the glass totally out and boxing that, but then I have to find a person local to.
I don't. All you're doing is creating more work for yourself.
Okay.
I wouldn't do that.
This came.
But the reason why I was saying do it yourself, because you're not going to be. You're not a gorilla.
Mhm.
And these people that work on you know, when they just see a box, to them that's guerrilla work.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And it's one of the reasons why I never rented out my piano. You know, they offered me $500 a night
Yeah.
for my piano. And I said no, because I know what you guys do.
Yeah.
You know, it's not about careful, it's about moving.
Uh-huh.
You know, so, you know, to them it's just moving, you know, A to B. I'm like, you know, I want it to be in the same condition in B when it was in A. And
Exactly.
yeah, and they don't see it the same way.
So what's the benefit of crating? I don't fully understand.
The crating is that you're creating another box. You know, the more, like when you send something in the mail, the best way to send it is double boxed. You put it into a box, completely insulated all you can, you know,
Mhm.
protected and all that, and then put it in another box.
Mm-hmm.
And
With insulation
with
inside
insulation over that, because what you're doing is creating a double layer of protection,
Okay.
and it's a double layer of stiff, hard protection. I had a woman send me a figurine in a bag,
Oh shit.
and of course it arrived. No, in a shoebox. I forgot. It was a shoebox, and of course it came broken.
Yeah.
This woman normally sold clothes, but she happened to have this really nice figurine. It was beautiful, and it arrived all broken.
Yep.
And it was like she was, you know, she was just stupid ass. Excuse me. That's what she was. But anyways, you are not going to manhandle this. Have it crated. It's going to cost you a couple of $100 perhaps,
Okay.
but it will arrive intact,
Okay.
and you'll be able to pass it down to your kids.
How much-
By the way, you have kids now?
No, I don't.
No, not yet.
No,
Okay.
we probably won't have kids actually.
Oh, okay. Well, look, my mother should have had to make the same decision, but she didn't, and she hated kids. Okay, so
Yeah.
there's
Okay.
I know. Well, you know, you might as well look at it as it is.
Mhm.
My sister, the one that I told you is the only child,
Yeah.
she has pretty much the same personality as my mother,
Yeah.
and she at least recognized that she didn't want any children and she wasn't good at it.
Yeah.
So she had her tubes tied, which was great. But she raised her second husband's son,
Yeah.
and he's very attached to her. It's funny, some people know how to raise other people's kids, but can't do their own.
Yeah.
Well, his wife, she's got, I think, polycystic ovaries or something like that. That's
Okay.
why she
Well,
can't get.
no, but I'm just saying that,
Yeah, I know.
that for whatever reason, you'll still have nephews and nieces.
Yeah.
I assume that they're boys and girls.
Yeah.
Okay. So
All right.
you can dote on them.
Yes, I can. Actually, this is the one issue with this side, this trim piece. It was bowing out, and I pulled on a little bit, and the whole thing came out. So I got to deal with that too.
What came? I don't see.
It's right here. It's right in front.
Oh, you mean the shelf?
Yeah. Well, no, it's not the shelf. It's a wood piece on top of the shelf, between the glass, this glass pane, and the word Flagman. You see, it's a
You
wood
mean
piece. It came off from right up in here.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, the glass is actually
on the
pulling
inside?
off.
So this long thing here is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, it's the strip that kept this part of the glass in place, and I can feel it's starting to fall inward right
Oh,
now.
okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
well, you can put that. You can put that back in
I just need
with
to.
just simple. Don't use super glue. You want to be able to take it out if you need to later.
Glue gun?
I would just use simple like caulk.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
So
right now, I would just do that. I would just take a little bit of something and just wedge it in there.
Okay.
For now. In fact, I would do that forever.
Put paper up in there.
Yeah,
or something.
just wedge it in there.
Oh.
Because that's all it does. It's just to keep the glass from rattling, from moving
Well, it
back and
had
forth.
2 or 3 nails
Well-
as part of it.
Well, if they came out, you can find little nails, little brads.
Yeah.
To just put back in if you want to do that. But I'm just saying that don't glue it in permanently because in case the glass breaks,
Yeah.
it'll make it easier to put a new piece of glass in.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay.
But this is a nice piece. A piece like this normally between $1,500 and $2,500.
Okay.
Yeah.
So pretty.
Yeah.
I think that's the receipt for shipping it out here.
Came from California.
I think Mom paid like $2,500 to get it here.
Yeah,
Wow.
I don't know that. I don't think it was that much, right? I think
I
about
don't think it
8 or
was that
900,
much.
too.
No.
Well, there's a receipt in there.
There's a receipt?
Unless it was sent for somebody else.
You could almost ship a car for that.
I hear you.
But look, that's a nice piece to have. I always wanted one of these, but every time I looked for one, they were so out of price. I just out of sight.
Just for used services.
It's got the address in California and then your address, and bottom right is the price I saw.
The weight's 233 pounds. Let's see.
It's next to.
The value it says is 2,500. Value.
Oh, is that estimated value or not the cost of?
That's an estimate. That's probably.
Oh, okay.
Here, okay.
That's probably someone describing what it was.
Yeah, this is
That was-
Shalimar, her aunt. But anyway, it seemed like you'd have something.
So it is a family piece. Then.
Yeah,
Yeah, it definitely is.
Great
Good.
grandma's.
Well, good.
When she passed, the
Yeah.
great aunt, I guess,
You want to. You
took it,
definitely
and then
wanna
she
keep it.
passed, and then Mom got it.
Yeah. So where do you live now? Dude?
Oklahoma, south of Oklahoma City,
Fort Sill,
small town.
Oklahoma.
Yeah, Fort Sill is by town, right outside
Fort
of town.
Sill, I've heard of
Lawton.
it. Yeah.
They're long. And I've seen there's an artillery training base and so forth. There's this hill right outside the base, and on the top of it you see this cannon up there. It's one of the few remaining atomic cannons. Of course, it's
Such a thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they
Yeah.
had. It was a tactical atomic device. Hell, Castro had some of these, and if you saw all the incident about the Bay of Pigs, or not the Bay of Pigs, but when Kennedy challenged the Soviets and all that.
Right.
Come to find out that Castro was wanting to use his tactical nuclear weapons. I mean, they were cannons. You could fire it. And
Well, I remember because I was living there. I was living in Miami when that happened. I remember
Wow.
watching the missiles go down my
yeah,
street.
the army coming down there.
It
and all
was one after another, and they came in sections.
Yeah.
I remember. I was 10 years old. That was 1962.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they had atomic cannons, and that's one of the
But
few
these
that
were
remain.
but these were missiles, and they were in the ground. I remember my uncle was in the Air Force Reserve, so he got permission to go on the site.
Yeah.
He went. I don't know what he was doing out there. I guess maybe that was part of his reserve garbage. But he took me out there with him, and I remember seeing those missiles in the ground and all the soldiers, patrolling
It was
around
in the
them.
Miami area.
In Miami, just west of Miami.
Shit.
Just west. I mean, it was about, I don't know, about 5 or 6 miles from my house.
Yeah.
So I remember my mother telling me at the crisis, during the crisis, she said, it was stupid. She said, "Do whatever your teachers tell you to do. Because if we have a nuclear war, they might, you'll need to go inside."
Yeah, go inside. There you go.
Yeah, right. That's going to help me. Yeah, nuclear war. Yeah. Tell the people in Hiroshima all about it.
Yeah.
How going inside of a house that's going to be leveled is really helpful. It's like, oh, is that a Category 5 tornado coming? Well, let me get in the carport here.
Carport.
That is useless.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, really. Yeah, especially my lean-to carport, the one that's made of really flimsy aluminum.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's really, really going to hold up. That'll protect me. Yeah, protect me from all those mean raindrops. Well, this is
This is from my grandmother's house.
from your.
My grandmother in Alabama. This is probably,
You're going to keep this too,
Really?
I hope.
I don't, unless Ryan wants it or Duncan wants it, I don't know what else. There's only so much I can take up to Duncan's house. I mean, he's got 2 big houses,
Yeah.
but still, I don't know.
When was unfurnished?
No, he's
Why does
furnished,
he
but
have 2 houses?
well, he can, I guess. He's got a big house. It's, let's say 4 bedroom, 2.5 bath. It's on about 2 acres of land in this little town of Albertville, Alabama.
I've been there. I know Albertville. The
It's-
dam is there.
Oh,
It's part of
it's
the
on top
Tennessee-
of Sand
It's
Mountain.
part of the Tennessee.
Well,
Valley
it's right.
Authority,
The Tennessee River
TVA.
comes through there.
Yeah,
Through that area.
that's the one. It's one of the headwaters of the Tennessee River.
It could
Yeah.
be.
The
And then-
Fontana Dam up in North Carolina is another one.
Yeah.
I've been there. So Albertville, I still have pictures of
Right next
myself
to
with my
Boaz
parents.
is the other town.
Okay.
And the hospital is not in Albertville. The hospital's in Boaz, and that's one place he works. But he works at several different.
Hold that for me.
Yeah, sure.
In place.
I got it. Yeah.
I asked my mom a couple years ago, maybe a decade, to start writing down important
This is
things.
a Larkin piece, side by side, made during 1890 to 1910, highly valuable.
Formerly,
Formerly-
my Aunt Margaret
Formerly
Hagler,
belonged to Aunt Margaret Hager.
Hagler, Haigler.
Hagler.
That's my mother's maiden name.
Okay.
And Aunt Margaret was my mother's sister, so she was my aunt. You know, that kind of. Larkin is a family name.
Actually, I've heard that name.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, they had different. There were several different names.
Well, I was
in
going to say, I think it's a fairly. It's not I think it's a common name, but I remember reading it and hearing about it, but I don't remember now why.
Dad, I started to piece together. Mom did these little notes, says tapestry chair, and then on the back it's got a name and a number. And I've been finding
chair.
documents that she was creating, like it would say the item and then the number, and I think she's been placing these things next to those actual items.
Well, not recently. Yeah.
No, she did this years ago.
Yeah.
But gravy ladle lot.
Look, this is apparently Hagler. This is
Yeah,
your
that's
family.
about the family. Yeah, there was a guy that wrote a history of the Hagler family. They originally came over from Switzerland, and they settled in South Carolina, and then they moved, and then the side that I was on moved down into Alabama and so forth. And this piece here went with it, supposedly.
Well, they're not far apart in style.
Yeah. I mean, I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, it was near it, that's for sure. But I don't know.
But you see, now this is a normal cut of oak.
Mhm.
You don't see the tiger striping in it
Yeah.
because this is a regular cut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one is quarter sawn.
Yeah.
Like I said, remember that quarter sawn tiger oak. That is. They don't do that anymore because it's just so wasteful. But it's also the most beautiful. I have a few. I have a clock and a couple of other things that have that, and I think to me it's just really, really beautiful. But again, it's from another century
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
when oak trees were bigger and more. So anyway, is this your
Duncan?
That's Duncan.
That's Duncan. Okay,
Yeah.
that's Duncan. Yeah. Okay.
Duncan and he's that was his wife. He's divorced, but anyway, we love this girl to death. She's our daughter-in-law. The daughter.
So she still stays in contact.
Yeah.
Yeah, they both stay in contact. They both live in Alabama.
Did he remarry?
No, he's got a girlfriend, but he has not remarried. I don't think he's going to remarry. I don't know. His
Wow.
girlfriend's got 2 kids that are younger than his, and they do things together. But he bought another house near Huntsville, which is he lives just that area is just below Huntsville. I mean, a much more modern house. It's got 5 bedrooms and 3.5 baths and all this kind of stuff. Huge house. I don't know why he bought the damn. He said it's to be closer to some of the other hospitals that he goes to. I said, well, isn't that wonderful?
That's, I guess that's just good. Well, how old are the kids now?
Well, his kids are 16 and 14, I believe. So.
There was one painting that, here it is.
Oh yeah.
This is my favorite.
That was kind of a fun-looking thing too.
This was she and I were together, and she grabbed this before I had a chance to grab it. I've always thought this is my favorite.
Uh-huh.
If you guys don't keep this one, I'd like to buy it from you because that one is I've always had a thing for that painting. That one is the cutest.
Well, it is.
Yeah, she bought it in St. Petersburg,
Mhm.
and we were right on the.
Upstairs too.
Yeah, we were on
Oh, yeah.
Nevsky Prospect, and there were all these, art exhibits and dealers and stuff. And this one, the reason why I liked it so much is because red in Russia is a really
Special color.
yeah, it's krasny, and it means red, and it also means beautiful.
Yeah.
So like Red Square, krasny,
Yeah.
krasny Platz is also beautiful square,
Yeah.
and it stands out so well against snow.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of the buildings there are painted these really bright colors,
Yeah.
like bright yellow, bright blue, bright green, bright red.
Oh yeah.
Because when it snows, it looks beautiful. It
Yeah.
really, it's so stark. It's like flowers in a garden.
Yeah.
It looks so pretty.
Yeah.
And I always
Stands
wondered why
out.
I thought the colors were garish, but once you see the snow around, then you know. And they dress, and now that's you know, those are faux costumes, but it's just the fact that they're all gathered together like that. And like I said, that's my favorite of all the paintings
Well,
that you found.
if you want to make an offer, if you think you ought to buy something like that,
I definitely do. So,
well, you can think about it.
okay.
Put his name on it.
Oh
Okay. Yeah. Don't sell it to anybody else. That one I really would like to get, because I remember that painting. I remember us. We didn't fight over it.
Well, come on up and take a look at some of the other stuff. With my favorite painting of something that I had something to do, if you can imagine this myth, is the snow leopard. I don't know if you ever saw that.
No, I didn't.
Well, anyway, that's a print, a signed and numbered print of the snow leopard that we got back in, shortly after we moved in back in the 80s. It's
Charles.
Charles Frasse, I think this was his name, wasn't it?
It looks like frock.
F-R-A-C-E, Frasse, I think is how it's.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay. It's an E. It looks like an H at the end. Okay, Frasse. Okay. Yeah. He reminds me of my dog. I have an American Bulldog, and he's got white and black.
Yeah.
He has primarily white coat, but
Snow
with black
leopard.
dots or black spots, big black spots.
Yeah.
Should be a date on there and his signature or whatever somewhere. Yeah, there's the number. It's a numbered print.
Yeah. So it's 1052 of 2500.
Yeah.
Snow leopard, and there's no date.
No.
But
Okay.
there's a Frasse, F-R-A-C-E with an accent.
Yeah. So it's Frasse.
And it's hand signed.
Yeah.
There it is.
And that thing, it just caught my eye when I saw that thing. You know, it's one of those deals.
No, look.
So.
You know that's what art is for. If it appeals to you,
Yeah.
that's what I try. You know, people ask me, "What
Picture
should
of
I
a
buy?"
damn
What's-
garbage can
I
could
said,
look
"Buy
good.
what
Who
you
knows?
like." Don't ask me. I don't know what you like. It's like asking what type of underwear you should wear. I don't know. What's comfortable, man.
Whatever floats your boat.
Yeah, really, honestly. But some people are so afraid of
Yeah.
making a decision. And it's like, you're going to live with it.
A lot of these things up here, of course.
Look at this.
Oh yeah. These are the hats she had in her office there.
You know, this is sable.
Oh, it is.
I think so. Oh, no. Oh, who is it that keeps calling me? No, it's all right. It's a friend of mine. I'll call him later. Anyways, let's see. Yeah. Well, it's definitely Russian. And I'm almost positive this is sable.
What is sable? I'm not familiar.
Sable, it's one of the most expensive furs you can get.
More expensive than mink, I would think.
It's more expensive, yeah, because mink, if you feel it, it's a little rough
Yeah.
and it's a little spiky, but this stuff